everybody on this beautiful day. So in my last video, I actually told you guys that I graduated with my bachelor's in rehab studies and a minor in counseling. That is actually so cool. However, what I really want to do is I actually want to help individuals with learning differences to help them get jobs. However, you need a master's for that with any of the things I want to do in my career. So it's actually, I'm getting peer pressured from education peer pressure to be exact to like go back to school. However, I am actually getting certified to some more certifications to try to figure out what I exactly want to do. However, I want to talk to you guys about what I'm currently doing right now in my job and try to give you guys some tips of what I am doing. So let's just get started. So to be exact, the job that I'm doing is actually a paraprofessional. Now, I actually did do a paraprofessional job earlier when I was about to graduate from my community college, and then I slowly moved my way up. And I actually like that job. So I'm going to tell you some tips that I've learned throughout the years in the hiring process and what I've learned in the couple of experiences that I have in the past 2 to 3 years of what I've learned from that experience. So let's get started. So here we go. The first tip that I found out is that when you're being hired, you should always figure out what is the exact position that you're doing it for. So you should be asking, like, am I going to be in a general ed classroom and following some students, or if I'm going to be in an exact like and then there's a ELC classroom where the kids are going to be self-contained in like one specific room, and see what the exact needs are for those individuals. And that is a good question to ask, and whatever their response is, and try to figure out what your ability is to help you and understand what if the fit is for that environment. Now, I would tell you guys, depending on where you are, the individuals that I work with are actually high school students. So yes, they are about 16 to 18 years old of age. They all need to be in the self-contained room, or they can be traveled from classroom to classroom. So I didn't know that when I walked in there because I did actually work in that classroom environment beforehand. Now, depending on what you want to do, you also need to figure out, are you okay working with a certain age group? Because some of these individuals do hit, or some of them actually are non-verbal and they just don't know how to act, and they are so aggressive. Another tip that I would like to give to you guys is that because you're a paraprofessional, you're not actually the main teacher. You must always know your responsibilities in the classroom. So for example, if you're trying to direct the kids to do something, you always have to think that, is it my responsibility to always help the kid, or if it's always like this. So for example, in my classroom, if a kid is saying, like, I have to always be like, hey, so and so, you must do this assignment, and then I always have them tell the teacher that they finished their assignment, so then they get the reinforcement, the reward of what they get the prize of. For this is to help them to understand that, okay, I am just a teacher's assistant and I'm not the main teacher. So then they understand that I am not there to always help. I'm just their assistant. But another thing is that if the teacher asks you to do something, I think you should always do it. So then be like, oh yeah, you do it. So if the teacher asks you to go, oh, make a copy, you should always do that, because in the classroom, you are the second hand, and you're the second pair of eyes. Now, you can always tell the kids this, that, the teachers always have eyes behind their heads, but also that also helps understand that they're helping the teacher's hand. Now, just like in the classroom, you can give suggestions to the teacher of what to do to help discipline or to help accommodate for the classroom, but it's something that you should do outside hours before or after school hours. So then it's not going to talk about it during school time when the students are in the classroom. For this is to distract the kids. Also, as a paraprofessional, you also have duties that you have to do outside of the classroom. So, for example, like I have to be at school by a certain time, so I have to do my chores. So I have to clean the kids' lockers before they come in, so the teachers don't have to do that. So you also have to make sure that they are doing what they have to do. Lastly, I know as a parent you don't get paid much because sometimes you feel like you're babysitting. Like sometimes I do feel like I'm babysitting my clients that I actually, well, my students that I actually work with throughout the day, and you do feel exhausted and you do so much for them. However, but overall, you're there to help support the students and help get them the needs that they need to help them hopefully experience the most joy that they can get throughout this childhood. Now, I know that it is not a lot of tips, however, but I hope you enjoy these little bit of tips that I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in a few months. Bye, guys. Love you. Have a wonderful day.